welcome to another episode of Jiu-Jitsu Therapy. Here today with me, Coach Chris Mines. Coach Chris Boland, our producer, working the computers over there. Thank you. Also joining us today, Coach Bill Freeman and Coach Michael McGrath. So our topic today, guys, is should we teach heel hooks to white belts?
Hell yeah. Yeah, that means if they can walk back in the next day, they're dedicated.
That's just you practicing the art.
That's right. It's a one-way street. I didn't say should we do heel hooks to white belts. I said should we
That's teaching.
It is teaching. Well, that's old school. That's old school. I got it. So yeah, I mean, guys? We know what Coach Chris says. He says by all means. So what do you guys think?
I say no.
Okay.
I just don't think they have the foundation to go there.
Right.
Of course, I don't want to get at odds.
Judgment.
Get at odds with a brown belt.
No.
Judgment.
It's called debating.
Right.
Right.
Conversation.
But I'm afraid that they wouldn't have the control
Yeah,
within the movement.
That's very valid.
Because those are so quick on.
They are. I think there's a value of how you teach it because in essence,
Communication.
a freaking arm bar.
Yeah.
I mean, you can ruin somebody's day.
Yeah.
I mean, and we see it where guys that are white belts even get a little crazy with the arm bar, you know. So, teaching somebody something, then allowing them to do it and rolling would be the caveat, if you will. I think there's nothing wrong with teaching straight ankles and toe holds. I think they're controlled. Heel hooks per se, you know, maybe less controlled, but straight ankles and toe holds, I think that you can be a little bit more, you know, subdued with them, you know, without just popping it. Heel hooks can get a little crazy if you twist wrong.
Well, to me, I mean, just when you think about the structure of it together, I mean, we always usually start everybody out with knee bars anyway. I mean, that's usually the first leg thing we teach people. We teach them a knee bar, which again builds the foundation of where you're just working further out the leg to where, you know, you're doing straight ankles, Achilles, you know, and then, you know, heel hooks or, you know, your toe holds. So everything kind of comes off that, and, you know, because it comes off the counter, the yin and yang of the energy off the knee bar. You know, when they bend the knee to counter the knee bar, it opens up the other possibilities. You know, I think, you know, they're going to learn them somewhere. They're going to learn them by watching competitions, you know, high-level competitions. They're going to learn them watching the internet, YouTube videos, or if they're in a university thing. You know, leg locks are the hot, I don't know if you could say they're the hot item now because they've been around, you know, they've been popular for the last 3 or 4 years. You know, Danaher's guys made that more, you know, and they started doing it because people were not doing them. That's why they started doing them. They were easy to get them, guys, you know.
Yeah, but we talked about this before, and I agree with Bill. I also agree with Chris. But whoever you're teaching to has got to have a certain level of jiu-jitsu maturity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise,
It'll damn sure make them work on that guard. They'll think about that, working that guard a little bit cleaner, you know, than being all lackadaisical and letting somebody pass their guard if they have that fear of a knee bar or a straight ankle.
but they have to learn it well, and they have
absolutely.
to perfect it because, you know, what do you do if somebody tries and goes for your legs when you're rolling? What do? You hit them back with a leg lock or a heel hook,
Right.
and you put it on, you know. So if they're not taught in the right environment,
that's
they get themselves in a lot of trouble.
That's what I said, that there's a difference between teaching and then letting them roll with it. You know, I think that you should be teaching them, you know, certain things right out of the gate. I think to be a complete instructor, a complete jiu-jitsu guy, knee bars should be in the white belt curriculum. I think straight ankles should definitely, if I'm not mistaken, they allow straight ankles in most white belt competitions. So, you know, getting them to learn that to where they can fear having a lazy guard is very important. But when it comes to rolling, I don't think that you should say, okay, guys, you roll, but you don't you know, none of this or none of that. And I think we do a lot of that now anyway with certain techniques.
Well, that's what we do. I mean, we usually show. I mean, we don't really focus that much on like teaching heel hooks to lower belt guys, but we will work knee bars in a class and do
When
stuff.
the coach is away.
That's right.
Make some play.
But again, one thing Coach Michael has brought up though too, depending on your group, the size of the group,
Maturity level.
of the group, you can do it because. Again, you can say it's like giving a chimpanzee a 38. I mean, you got to be careful.
You ever seen that video where they give that chimpanzee an AK-47?
Yeah, that's right.
That's the greatest video.
But anyway,
Very appropriate.
yeah, you can't. It's just like if you teach somebody something, and then if they're not mature enough to know when they're rowing, and their brain just kicks in, and they just heel hook somebody, they don't have the discipline, to not do it.
I heel hooked your guy that came over from the other school the other day. And he's a white belt, but I wasn't thinking he was doing really good, and he stood at my guard, and I just reaped his leg and heel hooked him and said, I'm sorry.
But you also didn't. Well, I say this. I don't know. I didn't see it. You also didn't try to rip his leg off.
No, I didn't. I didn't.
See, that's
But he just gave me such a beautiful setup. I couldn't help it. It goes back to Michael's point. It was second nature at that point. I was like, bam, I got you.
And I've done the same. I've done the same thing. But we had this one guy who doesn't come anymore, and he was just being a dick with everyone.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I mean, and I got fed up of it. He started trying to pull on my legs and so on, and I think it was.
he initiated the game. We'll say.
All right, I got you. I ran off one like that too.
Yeah.
A long time ago, but yeah.
Well, it happens. But I mean, again, having the respect for the move is always a thing. Look, we train kids too. You got to, you talk about the arm bar. I mean, if you have a 7-year-old kid will break your arm.
Yeah. Well, I'll be honest with you. I mean, and here's the thing too, because I've trained now for a while, but we don't, even the higher belts don't get a chance to train the legs enough, in my opinion, that I got caught with a dang calf crusher. Rolling with somebody from a different school, probably about 3-4 months ago, and I was like, I can't even believe I got caught with that. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't do it, you
don't defend it.
Yeah, you don't defend it exactly. And so, I guess I would rather be a part of a school that everybody's very well rounded versus having. If you go the old patriarchal way of going down the line, I think that you should have that, but maybe blur the lines a little bit, and then them go to another school and just get caught with something, and it kind of brings them down, if you know what I'm saying, if that they're not getting good enough. And what it is they're just not getting the opportunity to train it as much. Now, I don't think that you should make the white belts leg lock killers. You know what I'm saying, that's all they know, but I think appropriately popping it in there different places is really good from white to blue.
Do you consider like leg attacks advanced techniques at this point, or
everything changes. I mean, life, jiu-jitsu changes. We look back on
it used to be.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Coach, one of the greatest stories ever, Coach Eric, talking about he was competing in a I don't know if probably IBJJF did not exist when this happened, in a jiu-jitsu tournament, and he did a leg lock. I think it was just an ankle lock on somebody, and they booed him off the mat and basically threw him out of the competition. I could be wrong, but they booed him, and then he says, now you look at the poster, the IBJJF poster, and it's two young ladies leg locking each other. Is their poster, to try to sell the art.
Yeah, I think Eddie Bravo was talking about that one time too.
Well,
I think if there's something similar to that,
right.
they whoever was coaching one of the Machados would be like, you gotta let it go. He had it set deep, and he was like, he didn't know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you things change. Your perspective on stuff changes. However, I think one of our guys over at Cahaba, his mother-in-law works with a guy who trains. And I'm not sure where the guy trains, but it says a lot. But he had a higher belt, or I assume it was a higher belt. Anyway, the guy's a beginner. Anyway, it wouldn't take much to be a higher belt. Anyway, leg lock, the dude destroyed his leg. He's got an external fixator on it, so he's got pins on the outside going through that he's walking around with. I mean, from a heel hook.
He destroyed your guy's leg?
No, this guy was just this guy's mother-in-law was saying they took a picture of the guy's leg because he got heel hooked at a class, not at my school. He got heel hooked somewhere, and they just destroyed this guy's leg. He was a white belt. I mean, and again, you look at it this way. They made the thing about heel hooks.
He was a sissy. I was kidding.
Coach Chris Bowen. No,
just kidding. I'm kidding.
But what happens is we forget us folks who are educated to the heel hook. You know that once they get it on, there's a period of time, very short period of time. It doesn't hurt like a lot of other locks. You know, knee bar is just like, oh, pressure, I need to tap. It's going to break my knee. A heel hook, it's like, oh, I think I can get out of this. I think, oh, I'm just ruined. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, and now the ways have gotten so much better. There used to be a couple of patented ways of getting out of heel hooks. And now
people learn to shut them down.
Shut those down. And so now there's not as many good answers out of it. And if you let your ego get in the way, Faraz Sahabi was talking about at their school. They do them, but they do a catch and a hold. They don't finish. You catch them and you hold them. But then again, the guy could put them on themselves too. You got to be careful with that. But you have to be aware. And it's like Bill was talking about. You got to be educated enough to recognize the danger.
Mm-hmm.
So at what level are you teaching them? You know, I mean, do you look at the class and you evaluate and you say, yeah, I think these guys can handle that?
Well, typically, they used to say they didn't teach the leg locks because a lot of times people wouldn't learn to pass the guard. If they knew how to do legs, as soon as the legs opened up, they would catch a leg and go to, do a straight ankle or something. To me, usually, I mean, we start really concentrating more at blue, I mean, that's we start teaching stuff. We start doing our setups and combinations. So yeah, you're going to see some heel hook stuff, but we still don't encourage them to use them in rolling really. I think if we had somebody doing a lot of no-gi or something, which we're starting to do more no-gi this next year, so it's kind of a timely topic for us. We're going to alter. I think we have good ways of teaching it safely. I think it's just introducing it more to where people can roll with it and be able to play with it more.
So then it's coming down to communication again. It's like when you enter into the role, are they in or are they out?
Right, right. We say this, and we say that all the time. You will say leg locks or no leg locks. When you're rolling with somebody. White belts really should not even have that communication. Really, I mean, it should be like they're just not going to do them. I think I'm talking about when you're rolling with somebody.
Mm-hmm. I kind of agree with Bill, to be honest, that they shouldn't be taught them.
Did you change your mind in the process?
I did because I don't want to be rolling with a white belt and then start going after my legs, because it just takes it to a different level like immediately, and
even for you.
That was my point.
Yeah,
it's just, I mean, Chris Bowen, and all you guys can put leg locks, heel locks, whatever, and you can feel it coming almost. You just know that but that's because I have a little bit more education. Okay, gosh, he's got it and he's about to put it on.
And I'll tap.
How did I get there? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Right.
But a white belt, they're not going to figure. They're not going to say, "How did I get there?" They're just going to be jumping right on it.
Well, when you were teaching them the other night, you weren't teaching heel hooks per se, but it was just leg stuff.
Yeah, we were doing a setup like going from standing to straight ankle Achilles. But what happened was we had a white belt guy we were working with, extremely athletic guy, but when he went to do the ankle, he didn't have enough understanding for the ankle, and the heel popped out when he went to do it. So it became like a heel hook, like a straight ankle, just he didn't have the understanding. One thing I'm thinking about, to make a heel hook work effectively, you have to get the knee to bend and maintain that. If a beginner tries to force that position, you will tear somebody's knee out just by trying to make it happen. You won't go with the grain of the knee. You'll go against the grain of the knee. There's a lot of things that can
happen. Talking about that guy you were mentioning then, he's one of those guys that is learning jiu-jitsu off the internet as well.
See the dancer, the guy that dances in your class all the time.
No, not that.
He probably as well.
He just stands in the background and dances. I don't know. I mean, to get off
Really?
track. Yeah, I don't know. I was looking over. What the, well,
Yeah,
this guy? You
I've
know what I'm
seen-
talking about?
Yeah.
He's in his own world. He just stands behind the crowd and just dances while the instructions going on. It's
It's
amazing.
entertaining.
Yeah, I'm like,
Doing backflips.
yeah, I
Doing
don't know.
backflips.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Oh, he had kind of a match with the guy you were talking about the other night. They had a death match over there. They were going at each other pretty hard. So yeah, but it was a good roll.
The big tall guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a good roll.
But it is a death match with the guy we were talking about with the leg locks as
Oh,
well early on.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. You know, I'm not in favour of it, to be honest. And I don't want to roll with somebody at that level that's been learning leg locks or
Right.
heel hooks because
Right.
But in
I'm
another,
old. You know?
in another environment, I think you should put heel locks, anything, in a self-defense class. Then all is on.
Well,
From-
sure.
Right. From day one.
But a lot of times in your self-defense class, you don't do a lot of rolling either in a self-defense format. You do
Yeah.
drilling. You do your drill moves. You know, when you look at like Master Silvio, how they do stuff, their self-defense stuff, drilling is very active, very alive. You know how they do it. But yeah, I mean,
Oh, did you see that video that I posted on social media where the guys were training with the fake guns? They were really, I mean, they were slapping the crap out of each other, and I was like, that's real training. They were just, I mean, they were, you could tell that they were either military or something. And
I don't know if
Blower
I saw the
suit.
video.
You have blower suit.
no, they were
That's
like
the
in
one.
regular, they had like regular fatigue pants on, t-shirts, and I mean, they were slapping the crap
Oh yeah,
out of each other.
I think I saw it.
And
but-
they were working. They were doing leg locks. They were trying to take pistols away from each other. They were doing all kind of stuff. But man, that was some.
That's what I mean. In self-defense.
Self-defense live
Yeah.
stuff, man. That's
But
crazy.
but learning that in that environment, you're learning. Again, you're learning. Hopefully, your instructor's explaining stuff to you. It's like I said, you don't want to get that chimpanzee with a 38 mentality. You give here's a weapon.
Michael really likes that,
Yeah,
that
it's
scenario.
like here's a weapon. You give somebody a weapon and don't explain to them how to use it. If they don't have the where you know
Hang on, why a 38?
it's easy to hold.
It's easy
You
to
said a
hold.
38.
But
Who
it-
was it said an AK-47?
That's what it-
That's AK-47 is harder to hold.
That's right.
I mean, you know.
But he did a good job. He's
I didn't say it Derringer. Like a 38's got multiple shots.
I just envision a chimpanzee just pointing the gun at everybody and everybody scattering.
Right. So, you know.
Hey, it's a Saturday night special, man. What are you
That's
talking
right.
about?
It doesn't have a hammer. You know. But you know, it's just, again, the argument will continue, but you've got to, if guys are competing and they're going to compete in no-gi and they're going to do stuff, you know, the times have arose to where you need to figure out a methodology to where you can teach such things, and again, have it to where they're not going to just open up and be able to roll and just go at will at putting
So
leg locks
has anybody had an injury through that in the last?
That's me
years?
knocking on wood.
I don't recall one. I mean,
No.
No, not at our school, but
Well, I think a good scenario is any training that we're doing, whether it's legs, just training in general, where we're putting our hands in our bodies in another person's hands. It's just like us driving down the street. It's an unwritten rule that this guy's not going to cross the line head on you. You know what I'm saying? We take a lot of I wouldn't say liberties, but a lot of trust that the other person is going to do the right thing.
But you know, guys lose their minds sometimes rolling, and you know, you like I said, it's people are going to do stuff. I mean, we've all had guys pull a heel hook on us that we didn't think they knew how to do a heel hook. I mean, it's happened. It's happened.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, you know,
absolutely.
you'll have guys come from visiting from another school or something coming in, and we have it happen. You know, they'll have white belts and. You know, we'll cut it down even more. Don't go to a school, visit a school, and don't pull the heel hooks out right off. I mean, if you want to not make friends, that's the way to do it. So, you know, always err to caution. when
Yeah.
dealing with things, and that's part of the communication process as well. Always err to caution, and always carry a white gi with you.
Absolutely. I spread that knowledge to somebody that signed up the other day at your place.
right,
Make sure. I said, if you get a white gi, even if you like, because he was asking about the different colors of
Right,
gis and
right,
stuff.
right.
I said, whatever you do, just keep a decent white gi in the closet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For when you go to affiliate training or seminars or whatever.
Right, and I mean, yeah, if you're traveling, that's what you need to have. That way, you can use it anywhere.
That's
You
true.
know, too. You know, versus
It shows the blood better.
That's right. That's right. See,
that's
that's
right.
Is that your blood? Some of it.
Some of it is, most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
So
guys,
we're not going to.
we're at an impasse.
So we're not going to teach them at white belt. Are we agreeing on that?
Well, you know, we've been teaching leg locks for a long time. I mean, in general, been training with Coach Eric for a long time, and of course, he was one of the pioneers of leg locks here in the United States.
I'm only saying that because you've talked to me already. I don't want anybody else knowing.
Yeah,
that.
that's
Let's put
right.
it this way. You know, the thing is, I think what we should do is if whatever you're going to teach, you have to teach responsibly. So yeah, I'm not going to say that we're not going to do that, but I want to make sure that we teach. You got to teach the forward and back of it, and why they need to understand why this happens.
Was I the chimpanzee with a 38?
Hey, some people you can't. I mean, you know, some people you can't do it. Hey, it's gonna be. Hey, this is an issue that's going to come up because, like I said, with our CSW program kicking back up this year, we're going to be doing a lot more of that kind of stuff, even enrolling and stuff. But I think we'll probably stick with the kind of catch and release mentality on that. You know.
So we'll have a lot of chimpanzees with 38s loaded with blanks.
That's right.
Be like Planet of the Apes. my
That's
friend.
right.
Planet of the Apes.
Here they come.
Planet of the Apes. Here they come.
That's
But
right.
anyway, all right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in, and hope you've enjoyed it today. Maybe if you want to, we can do Should White Belts Learn Heel Hooks Part 2. I don't know. But, no.
All right.
But anyway, guys, have a great day. Subscribe to us if you haven't already. Comment. Let us know some topics you want us to cover.
Yep.
And
Let
like I
us
said,
know if
ju-
you kind of like it.
Yeah, and tell a friend. Tell
Yeah.
one of your training partners about us, and hopefully they'll listen as well. But anyway, until next time, have a good week.